Well, now it's clear here that somebody's been cutting. Just as to why I shouldn't stump you. Because this here ain't what you call clear cutting. I don't want to give you the brush off, but I'm going to explain it. Now these here mountains of forest debris, well, they're part of the United States government's project. The United States Department of Agriculture, yeah, it's managing the forest, because you see the forest didn't manage itself, because we managed wildfire suppression. And the less they burned, the more they grew. The more they grew, the more they opened up the door for massive combustion and destruction of entire swaths of forest. So it might break your heart to see the clearing out a lot of timber, intrusion of heavy equipment, but it's all in the best preservation, at least under the new scientific theories that these forest folks are applying. Yeah, so what exactly is all this forest management and timber cutting stuff? Because lots of folks, the government and private folks, been doing it for a long time. Well, now I reckon it comes down to something you've seen before and maybe you didn't think much about, that Department of Agriculture has a service for the forest. Yeah, all them green, tall, lanky things there. And the trails and roads to help people get to where they want to go. Do what they want to do with whatever they got to do it. So part of where they're cutting it down is keep it from getting too, yeah. So you make a cartoon character, instead of selling Captain Crunch, sell something different. That's your tax dollars there at work. Of course, for folks that build their homes that are in the forest, whether it's on government land or right next to it, well, kind of a big question, just how much the government should do and how much that property owner. Well, we're going to talk about that a little more later. But in the meantime, we get them big old, great, grand, and majestic trees from back 100 years or more. You got these here that are marked in a natural kind of blue that targeted for cut down. Of course, then they got some right little ones they already done. So I reckon when you want to have a campfire, you better think about whether the whole forest is going to be a giant campfire, and that's again why they made a good old you-know-who. So when it comes right down to it, thinning the forest, which I guess can get a little thick, due to fire suppression, comes down to some mighty big changes. Not like trees coming down natural all by themselves, because nature done said there was rotten and time to go. More like man said it's time for cutting. Yeah, that's some big changes. Could be. Well, yes, sir. There's some mighty big changes afoot here. There's a whole lot of them nice trees that, well, quite frankly, gonna be doing something different here for folks. Reckon these ones here, what you call keepers. And reckon, as you know, with every tree there's a remainder that's not a keeper, as far as the lumber's concerned. Well, about right now, you learned about lumbering back from in the old days and from teaching history at government. Well, I reckon by now you learned about lumbering industry in the conquest of the Wild West and how they used the forest for profit. And now, I reckon it's using the forest for the public good, but don't necessarily look like what you might think. I reckon the question is, are they, this new land management policy, is they fire suppression, is they barking? up the wrong tree. Of course, you might live in a house made of wood.
Life's full of choices, isn't it, honey?
Now this here land belongs to the government, which means belongs to us. Then again, this forest ain't gonna burn so hot, and trees you see standing got a much better chance of survival because before men started fire suppression, well, forest was naturally thinner. And that whole question stumps a lot of people in terms of the big debate. But if she gets too thick, she's gonna burn like crazy. Come a fire. So maybe the cat got your tongue on this one. Always right bit tricky when it comes down to man. Where's nature? So what you're looking at right here is forest. At least it was about 10 years ago or so. Then, well, fire happens. Tombstones, I reckon. Kind of a graveyard of nature and man's long-standing fire suppression control program. This year was called the Angora Fire up in South Lake Tahoe. And nature has a way of coming back. But she sure does look different when she's on the mend. Maybe this here water tower, about to see up there, amidst the beautiful pines, marks the end. So there we have man versus nature, maybe more like nature. Versus you know who. This video has been brought to you by your federal government, and you have a stake in this. The National Forest Service, maintaining your forests for all.